Imagine a young boy in Cameroon running barefoot after a football on dusty streets. No boots, no grass pitch, no spotlight. All he had was a dream and an unbreakable belief that one day the world would know his name. That boy was Samuel Eto'o. Samuel Eto'o was born on March 10, 1981, in Douala, Cameroon. He grew up in a tough and humble environment where life offered no shortcuts. From a very young age, football was not just a game for Eto'o, it was his escape. On the streets and makeshift pitches, he learned how to fight, survive, and compete against players older and stronger than him. This is where his legendary mentality was forged. At just 15 years old, Eto'o made a fearless decision. He left Cameroon and traveled to Europe alone, without a famous agent, without guarantees, and without protection. He was rejected many times. Clubs doubted him simply because he was a young African player, but rejection only fueled his hunger. Eto'o never stopped believing that he was destined for greatness. In 1997, his dreams seemed to come true when he signed for Real Madrid. For most players, this would have been the ultimate destination. For Eto'o, it became one of the hardest chapters of his career. He rarely played, was constantly loaned out, and remained in the shadows of the Galacticos. At Real Madrid, Eto'o felt ignored and underestimated. Yet, instead of breaking him, the experience strengthened his resolve. Quietly, he promised himself that one day he would prove them all wrong. That moment arrived at Real Mallorca. At the club, Eto'o finally found his stage. He played with freedom, passion, and anger. Goal after goal, he announced himself to the football world. He led Mallorca to a historic Copa del Rey victory and became a nightmare for Spain's biggest clubs. Every time he faced Real Madrid, Eto'o played with fire in his heart. He never forgot how he had been treated. Mallorca transformed him from a rejected talent into one of La Liga's most feared strikers. In 2004, Samuel Eto'o joined FC Barcelona, and this is where his legend truly began. Playing alongside Ronaldinho, Xavi, Iniesta, and later Lionel Messi, Eto'o became Barcelona's main attacking weapon. He was fast, powerful, and lethal in front of goal. Eto'o scored in the Champions League final in 2006 and did it again in 2009. He won multiple La Liga titles and finished as the league's top scorer. His mentality set him apart. Pep Guardiola once said that Eto'o had one of the most competitive minds he had ever coached. Despite his success, Eto'o's relationship with Barcelona's management was never perfect. He was outspoken, confident, and unafraid of confrontation. Eventually, he chose another challenge, one that would further cement his place in football history. In 2009, Eto'o joined Inter Milan in a move that shocked the football world. Many doubted whether he could still perform at the highest level. Under Jose Mourinho, Eto'o showed a new side of his game. He sacrificed personal glory, worked defensively, and played for the team. The result was historic. In 2010, Inter Milan won the treble Serie A, Coppa Italia, and the UEFA Champions League. Samuel Eto'o became the first player in history to win back-to-back trebles with two different clubs. Barcelona and Inter, an achievement that remains almost impossible to repeat. Beyond club football, Samuel Eto'o is a true African icon. With Cameroon, he won 2 Africa Cup of Nations titles and the Olympic gold medal in 2000. He became the all-time top scorer in Africa Cup of Nations history. Every time he wore the Cameroon jersey, he carried the hopes of an entire continent. Eto'o proved that African players could be global superstars, not just supporting characters. Samuel Eto'o was known for his confidence, strong personality, and occasional controversy. But one thing was undeniable: he always delivered on the pitch. He did not come from elite European academies. He built his legacy from rejection, struggle, and relentless determination. Samuel Eto'o's story is a story of courage, hunger, and mental strength. From the streets of Cameroon to Champions League finals, he proved that dreams are valid when backed by hard work and belief. Samuel Eto'o is not just a legend of Barcelona or Inter Milan, he is a legend of world football, and like all true legends, his name will never fade from history